most famous reindeer of all. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
Hey, it's Seawell. Hope you are doing well. It is actually my birthday today, 22 and 22, and first off, I just want to give a big thank you for helping me reach 800 subscribers by my 22nd birthday. I really appreciate it, and thank y'all so much for your support. We're going to get right to this video. Right now, we're going to watch some mysterious NASCAR crashes, a new video by NFJJ. Original videos in the description below. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
You could make a case that each one of these wrecks we're going to cover today are among the worst wrecks of the century, and most of them are relatively unknown. At the end of this video, we'll take a look at why these awful wrecks happened in testing and not...
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
We'll start the list off with the most well-known of these wrecks, and that is Brad Keselowski's testing crash at Road Atlanta.
I made a video on this.
Racing attended a mid-season test in preparation.
I did make a video on this, so if you haven't yet, go check that out.
Brad was approaching 155 miles per hour when he hit the brakes.
Yeah, I did a full description of that wreck that happened at Road Atlanta.
To a wall that had no safer barrier. Brad posted pictures on Twitter showing a severely swollen left ankle and lacerations on the right ankle later that day. Later on, Brad would admit that he also felt extreme back pain at the moment of the crash and feared that he may have been paralyzed.
Yeah, I have neck pain right now from the cornrows. Just kidding.
The fear and hopelessness that he felt in that moment isn't something NASCAR drivers face much anymore. Luckily, Brad didn't miss any time from the Cup car, and just 4 days later, was able to pull off one of the most recent resilient performances.
Yeah, it is crazy, you know, he had a great run after that.
At Pocono, it was confirmed that Brad had suffered a broken ankle in the wreck. He would
his ankle picture is not pretty at all.
And rest as much as possible. This way, he put his full attention to the
Oh, Kyle Busch, that is a crazy save, though, by Busch.
He completed all 500 miles of the race, but he would take the checkered flag and earn his third career win. In 2002, 18-year-old Brian Vickers was racing for his own family-owned team, part-time.
Oh, this is one I've seen a picture of.
Before the Rockingham race, they decided to test at the track to find some extra speed for race day.
Yep.
However, the test wouldn't go anything like they planned. Vickers blew a tire off turn 2 and started spinning to the outside wall. Brian tried to save the car, but ended up overcorrecting and putting the car into the wall at the worst possible.
Yeah, turn 2 is a dangerous spot at Rockingham if you lose and overcorrect.
Before coming to a rest. At this point, most of the crew at the garage feared the worst. Why, you may ask? Just take a look.
Yeah, it's pretty bad hit, man. That car is junk.
The only car to face this much destruction that comes to my mind is Ryan Newman's 2020 Daytona 500 car. Brian Vickers' account of the crash itself paints an even more haunting picture. Vickers said that when he hit the wall, the car went straight up and cleared the fence. Once the car hit the ground, it flipped.
That's crazy. I didn't know about that. Cleared the fence. That's crazy.
For his statement of the car.
Man, I wonder what it would look like to have been there in person and see that. I mean, I've been to Rockingham multiple times, but I've never seen other than one person wreck there in person. But woof, that Mike McDowell wreck's awful.
No matter what happened, something genuinely crazy had to have happened to damage a car like that. We may never again see a car this torn up outside of a super speedway race, and hopefully we never.
It's a valid point there.
This being a family-owned team, Brian's father was one of the first on the scene, and believed he may have witnessed his own son's death, as well as many other close friends and family.
Man, Vickers was a really good driver, man. It's just a shame some of the stuff that happened.
Which is understandable because
made his career gone to downfall.
The team also avoided bringing the car back to the race shop just so his mom wouldn't see the damage to the car.
I'm not going to mention everything about that, but let's just...
From the wreck. After several mediocre seasons in the Busch Series, Shane Hall was forced to...
Oh, I remember Shane Hall. Yay, ads! Woo!
Just a few weeks before the season started, the team decided to attend a test session at Las Vegas with both Winston Cup.
Oh, I remember seeing something about this too.
Hall was in the middle of a run when his steering column failed. Without any way to control his car, Shane hit the outside.
Jimmy, no!
The car
in the wall
across the track directly towards the inside wall. Luckily, there
man,
was a
probably
tire
plowed that thing a
set up over
ton.
the backstretch
Didn't he?
wall because of some road course racing earlier that week. which may have just saved his life. Still, once Shane's car made contact with the tires, his car was thrown into a tumble and rolled 5 or 6 times before finally coming to a rest.
Crazy.
Looking at what's left of the car,
well, I haven't seen that picture before. Huh.
What's even crazier is that Shane tested the team's backup car the very next day. The hunk of metal.
I've seen that picture. I posted that one time.
As a NASCAR car, and it's truly
that car is mangled, a mess.
Away from that. Unfortunately, Shane would only make one start with the team in 2000, as they DNQ'd 5 of the first 6 races. After the 2006 season, NASCAR held a Goodyear test at newly remodeled Las Vegas Motor Speedway to test new tires and compounds for 2007. 2 of the drivers invited to the test were Kyle Busch and Greg Biffle. Biffle was driving at 204 miles per hour.
204 at Las Vegas? I didn't know that was possible.
The wall between turns 1 and 2. Details of what happened aren't very well documented, but in essence, Biffle was knocked unconscious while his car caught flames around him.
Oh, wow.
Kyle Busch jumped out of his car and rushed to help Biffle out.
I've never heard of this wreck. That's crazy.
To safety. This is just me assuming, but I believe Biffle was probably knocked unconscious momentarily and woke up in just a couple of seconds. I don't think that Kyle Busch undid his belts for him and dragged him out of the window from the burning car, but with that being said, Kyle very well may have saved Biffle's life that day. Initially, it was reported that Biffle had no injuries, however, this wasn't the case. I'm a firm believer that there probably would have been more than one death in our sport if it wouldn't have been for the safety stuff that came from Earnhardt's death. I know for a fact there is
I wouldn't say I agree with that, but I think he does have a point there, that's for sure. It is, the Hans of Ice is a great implement and great thing to have. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Praise for the safety of the car. Biffle had some strong words about the safety team. First of all, the response to the wreck itself was slow. I mean, if another driver has time to slow down from 200 miles per hour, get unstrapped, get out of the car,
it was a test session. They probably didn't have that many cars and stuff ready in case something like that happened. They didn't expect it.
How badly they misdiagnosed him. They did not even take him to the infield care center and instead just gave him a ride back to his team's trailer. As Biffle got home, he immediately went to a doctor where he was diagnosed with a dislocated shoulder and a concussion, even saying that he shouldn't have been allowed to fly home because of his brain.
Wow.
Over a month later in preseason,
why have I never heard of this?
Biffle admitted to being nervous and battled soreness throughout the test. To explain why these crashes happen in testing and why we don't see crashes,
well, it is testing after all. You test to see what the car does.
State the obvious. The obvious being that these are test sessions, so teams are testing new ideas, new parts, things like that. A lot of off-season tests are used to find loopholes or get ahead of the curve on new rule packages or new cars completely. Like any experiments, things can go wrong at a NASCAR test, and I'm sure that could be the explanation for countless part failures in testing. Some of those failures which happened at the wrong time and caused crashes. Secondly, we don't realize how much time teams spent testing in the early 2000s.
Good point.
When most of these crashes occurred. Take a look at 2005, for example. Every Cup and Busch team was allowed 5 two-day tests and 4 single-day tests.
It's a lot of tracks that
back then, Roush
didn't
had 5
expect
cars,
to be on there.
So they were allowed 70 total days of testing between all of them. More than likely, Roush would have had several cars at the same test, so they didn't have to test literally 70 days of the year. Individual cars that had a rookie driver were allowed to have 7
Where did he get this footage from?
5 single-day tests, totaling 19 days. Additionally, new Cup and Busch teams, or those not scored in the top 45 in the previous year's final owner point standings, would receive 3 extra days of testing every single time.
I'm glad he shared that, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know about this.
So this explains why you would have 70 to 80 cars enter the Daytona 500. Dozens of these teams knew they didn't have a shot, but this provided them with even more testing. Plus, they had a shot at making the big race. Small teams that had the money could have over 20 additional days of testing throughout the year. That is a wild amount of time considering there are so many part-time operations in both the Busch and Cup series at the time. Not to mention the testing rules were even more relaxed than previous years. This amount of sheer time spent at the track, combined with teams
a lot of explanation there,
getting used
buddy.
to new cars or rule packages,
I like it
just
though.
normal driver errors, explains why testing crashes were so frequent and why some of them were so bad. I'm not going to pretend to know the exact numbers, but with 70 or so part-time and full-time operations, and both the Busch Series and Cup Series running weeks of practice sessions throughout the year, it's not unlikely that half, or maybe even over half, of all NASCAR laps turned
He's not even wearing gloves, so he was in that car. I think that was Truex.
in private test sessions. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you
Oh yeah, that was a bad hit by Jeff Byrne at Dover. This video, definitely a very interesting one. I've definitely heard of almost every one of them except for two. And man, I mean, if you haven't yet, go subscribe to him. He has a lot of great content, and I really enjoy his uploads and what he shares about the history of the sport. And if you enjoyed, of course, hit the like button. Please subscribe. If you don't subscribe, Santa will put coal in your stocking, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts, and until next time, I am out. Peace.